To the cheap seats on the Saturday Sports Show here on WLCN. Justin Tierney coming off the bench for Coach Josh Komnick. Here with the furniture guy.
Bringing in the dominant righty, eh?
That's right. I'm actually left-handed.
Oh, well, there you go.
A little,
two lefties here, eh?
A little switch. So we're here. We're going to take some time to thank our sponsors. We got Jake's Furnishings located at 1100 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln, open 7 days a week, 735-1212, or go online to jakesfurnishings.com. Jim Grimaldi, criminal defense attorney, 217-651-8089. The Christian Village, the area's leader for senior living and healthcare services. Phone 732-2189 for a tour. Edward Jones Financial Advisor Bob Neal, 735-2585. Or stop by the office located at 218 South Kickapoo in downtown Lincoln. St. Clair's Manor, their team's dedication is what makes them special. Phone 735-1507. And Lincoln College, where we're coming from today. Lincoln College since 1865. Phone 1-800-569-0556 to schedule your private tour and meeting with a professional admissions counselor. And chances are, if you are from Lincoln, I am your professional admissions counselor.
Yes.
So come find me, and I'll be happy to take you on a tour of Lincoln College.
Yeah, out here right now we got the dual meets going on at the new Arena. I'm sorry.
That's correct.
Pretty awesome, man. Lincoln College, very known for their wrestling tradition out here, and big meet this weekend. You know, like to get some people out here to support.
Yep. Coach Dave Clem just retired recently, and he's handed it off to Coach Stephen Bradley, who was a 3-time high school state champion in the state of Indiana, and had a success at the college level as well. You know, one thing not a lot of people know, if we got any UFC fans, any of those fighting fans, there's a nice little mural to Matt Hughes, Lincoln College graduate, out here. So come check out the wrestling. Come check out the little tribute to Matt, who's a good guy, and he's been the Young Alumni of the Year out here, and you can come see that. It's kind of neat. So hopefully you guys will come out and check out the Lynx Wrestling Squad today. Some of our listeners out there brave the snow to come out and see some wrestling. Well, we're going to talk a little football, I believe.
I think that's why Josh scooted out of here. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, probably.
If you listen to the picks last year, or last week, I mean, horrible.
Oh, really?
Oh, I dominated last week. I went 3 for 4 and hit the spread on 2. So
nice. Well, the two games today, we've got the New Orleans Saints against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
And then, of course, the marquee matchup of the weekend, I think tonight, the one that everybody's been hyping on ESPN.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The Patriots.
Yep.
And the Tim Tebow-led Denver Broncos.
Wow.
Let's start with San Francisco and New Orleans, Jake. what do you think is going to happen?
You know, to be honest, I like defense, and with that, you go towards Jim Harbaugh's team out there in San Francisco, the 49ers. Good team, real solid. Offensively, though, I don't know. I told Josh at the beginning I'm going to run with the Saints, see what happens. Drew Brees seems to be in that zone right now, and I'll be honest, it's going to take a lot to get him out of that. The 49ers have the defense that can stay with him. I don't think you can stop him. And I think that their defense is opportunistic enough to take a couple balls away, maybe take them back for a touchdown. Maybe their special teams make a big play, and I think the Saints can pull away.
That's the thing is with the Saints offense, you hold them to 28 points, and you've got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's even with a good defense.
Still 28 points. So I don't see San Francisco having the offense to get to 30 points against the Saints. I just don't.
That's exactly where I'm at. And San Fran has a good defense too. But I mean, honestly, this New Orleans team, it's kind of a juggernaut.
Is there any part of you that doubts San Francisco's defense because they played 6 games this year against the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Seahawks in the NFC West? Do you think that inflates it a little bit? Because, see, I'd love to believe in them,
but they are tough, man. I've watched them a couple games. They have
Patrick Willis, I think, is their stud over there on that side of the ball.
They are a tough team. They're quick to the ball, and they gang tackle real well. But the thing with New Orleans is they do not have a one-phase offense. I mean, it's a transition offense too. And by that I mean they can go from a quick running game to a pounding running game in a matter of seconds. And then all of a sudden now they're also throwing in passing to not only a short route to a tight end, but now a deep route as well to Colston. I mean, it's
Jimmy Graham.
That's exactly right. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you talk about weapons. You've got Jimmy Graham out there. Darren Sproles is kind of I think the hardest guy to tackle in the NFL.
In the NFL, yeah, such a small guy, but so quick.
Yeah, so should be a good game. We hope for a good game. And then tonight, I'm guessing, what do you think? I have a feeling which way you're going to go, but you're scared to do it, aren't you? You're scared to pick against Tim Tebow.
Well, and that's what I said last week. I actually picked Tim Tebow last week. So yeah, I messed up on Cincinnati. But no, Tim Tebow has a way of winning. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and which is a great thing to watch. Against Belichick and Tom Brady, I don't see it happening this week, especially in New England. And that's the big turning point, I think. It will be in New England.
I watched the game they played a few weeks ago in Denver, and I was really excited for that game, checking that out. And really what people, I think, kind of forget is that Denver was in the game in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, they had 2 turnovers, consecutive turnovers. I think McGahee fumbled, and then Tebow threw an interception, his only interception, but it was on back-to-back possessions, second quarter, and then all of a sudden the Patriots open up this 2-score lead. And you can say one thing for sure about the Broncos, and that's they're not meant to play from behind.
That is correct.
Because they're not going to ever be a team that's going to drop back and throw the ball around every time.
Behind by more than one touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, they've got to be they've got to have a ball control offense, and when they have to start scrambling and doing some things, and you saw that's when they started to really struggle, is when they kind of had to pass the ball.
Yep.
And so if this is what I've said all week to anybody I've talked to about it, if the Broncos can stay in the game until the fourth quarter, I think they'll win. I really do. I just believe in Tebow that much. I've seen him do it too many times now, where if they have a chance to win in the fourth quarter, the game is close. Even against Tom Brady.
I was going to say the X factor there is I don't know if you can go against Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean because he was clutch before Tebow was clutch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He was clutch his rookie year.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like Brady, and I do not like New England for whatever reason. But at the same time, they've been a proven winner, man, and they're not hurt right now. They're not beat up, unlike Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was extremely beat up last week, and that's a big reason why Tebow could pass against them. That I don't see that happening playing out this week. I think there's going to be some. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout.
I think that's the traditional way to look at it. That's what the way to look at it. But I just can't. I can't pick against Tebow. I will not pick against him until he loses, and then I won't have to pick against him obviously anymore. Tomorrow we've got the Packers and the Giants, which I think might be probably the best from a football standpoint, just a purist standpoint, the best game of the week.
Especially with Eli being hot.
The Giants are hot, and they present, I think, a lot of problems for Green Bay just with their defensive front. I mean, the Giants, how many years now, even their Super Bowl team was built on that defensive line, and they just get after you in the trenches. Exactly right. I was watching ESPN this week, and Herm Edwards, a guy that I think former NFL coach, probably ESPN's best analyst, I think, said, they'll rush 4 and drop 7. And Aaron Rodgers has got to pass through 7 guys, which is a big difference maker, I think. I think it's in Lambeau.
It is in Lambeau.
Which you would think would be for the Packers, but I still think that's going to be a really, really good game.
Yeah, to be honest, I actually picked this out earlier this week. We were talking it over, and I'm going to jump on the Giants bandwagon on this.
Really?
One. Yeah, I like Eli Manning for the fact that his last name's Manning. But no, I mean, like you said, marquee matchup with quarterbacks, marquee matchups all the way down the board until you get to the defense. When you get to the defense, you look at who's healthier, which I think with New York being completely healthy, basically, on defense, I think that offsets the Lambeau crowd. So that's the way I'm going to go. I mean, I really like Aaron Rodgers, to be honest. I think he's one of the tougher quarterbacks in the NFL. But Eli Manning's on fire right now, and so are the Giants.
Yeah, and they're running the ball, too. They're putting the ball on the ground, too.
And this sets up my perfect storm, taking everything through New Orleans, and New Orleans winning it all. So.
Gotcha. I see. And then the AFC, the last game, probably the game that nobody's really talking about because you've got Houston with their third-string quarterback and Baltimore, who nobody really, I don't think, will believe in them. But you got to pick for that one. I think whoever wins between the Broncos and the Patriots is your AFC
I think the Patriots are going to be in there. And you know what? I'd like to see Baltimore against the Patriots. Yeah. That'd be the matchup I'd like to see. We'll see, though. Texas, I mean, to be honest, they surprised me last week.
Yep.
I didn't think a team that's that young could go into the playoffs with, like you said, a third-string quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, although Cincinnati didn't have a lot of experience either, I thought with their ground game and everything, they could, pull it out. Boy, that wasn't even a game last week.
Sure.
Texas just laid it on them. So
yeah, I think it's a big game in the career of Joe Flacco, the Baltimore quarterback. He's been kind of complaining, I think, in the media this week that he hasn't been getting enough credit and things. So now you got to go out and back it up.
I was going to say, if he doesn't back it up this week, he may be a backup for the rest of his career anywhere he goes.
Gotcha.
So, a very interesting week for him.
Well, in the rest of the pro sports world, a little hot stove baseball news that I understand, the Cubs brought back Kerry Wood, which may take them from 70 wins to maybe 71 wins over the course of the year.
67 wins. Yeah, what an exciting day for them. I mean, as a Cardinal fan, I remember one of my most vivid memories of Old Busch Stadium is Kerry Wood's game where he was up by 8 runs, I believe, after the first inning. And then the Cardinals slowly came back, following up with a Mark McGwire home run that was just epic.
Honestly, what I thought was surprising with the whole Kerry Wood signing, if you read the media reports about it this morning, was that he almost left. Was very, very close to being out the door. It was about 15 minutes away, he said, from signing with another team.
Yeah.
And I think that does signal a little bit of a change in Cubs leadership, where I think in the past this deal would have been done a long time ago, but the Cubs were willing to say, okay, well, at least until the last minute, we're willing to say, all right, we'll see you later.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I'm wondering if it's because the Cubs weren't even offering him anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe he would have signed to stay in Chicago for any amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could have been $1 million. It could have been the minimum.
And that's what he did last year.
Exactly. And I think he's figuring, I'm at the end of my career. This is where I really want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a contract, whatever it takes. And I think the Cubs, to be honest, I don't know how useful he is as a player anymore. As a marketing tool, he's very useful. Yeah. But as a player, I don't know if he is overly useful anymore.
It's always bad when you're a relief pitcher and when they sign you, one of the biggest things they credit their signing to is that they want you to lead their young players.
Yeah.
As a pitcher, I think I'd be kind of a little bit insulted by that. Like you signed me for $3 million to basically be a coach.
Yeah, but not only that. I mean, you look at the type of player he's been. He's always been injury prone. Mm-hmm. Had issues with keeping his health in order and whatnot. Is that really what you want as your role model in the bullpen?
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just bringing that up. I mean, to be honest, if I was a Cub fan, I would want Kerry Woods on my team because he started with me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think you need to start looking at getting over that hump.
As a Cub fan, the only thing that I like about Kerry Wood is that he's loyal. I mean, he's a runner.
That's exactly right.
There's something to be said for that. You'll know that as a Cardinal fan.
Absolutely.
When it comes to loyalty and Albert Pujols, but we won't go back there.
I believe me, I'm very okay with Albert not being here.
I can appreciate the loyalty that Kerry Wood has to the Cubs and that he wants to be here, which you like. You want guys in your clubhouse who want to be there. But as far as him as a pitcher, I think clearly his best days are
absolutely. But then again, you only signed him for $3 million.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty cheap.
I say that's only.
Yeah,
but
you and me were we only got paid $3 million to do the show, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I signed a long-term deal here, and I'm happy with it right now.
One last thing. We'll go back to football for a minute. Did you watch the BCS championship this week or no? I think the last time I did the show, I said LSU, there's no way they're going to be any good this year.
Correct.
And then they went out and played in the BCS championship, and I had it right for the BCS championship. But
no, I think they deserve to be in there. I don't believe Alabama did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I'm not saying they didn't deserve it, but they certainly didn't.
But Alabama
didn't play well.
No, they didn't play well, and Alabama played well enough, I guess, to say. And it was not a pretty game, man.
No, it was not.
Probably the worst bowl game of them all this year.
what was pretty, I saw on, I believe it was, I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday night now, was the Illinois game with Brandon Paul. I was there in the building, which was kind of cool. So nice game to be at. And Illinois, I think, might turn a corner.
Storm the court, did you?
No, I did not. I did not. I have mixed feelings about storming the court against number 5. But I think Illinois might turn a corner here soon.
Well, you know,
hopefully.
They've actually got the athletic talent to be able to do it.
That's been a difference from the last few years.
The problem I have and the issue I have is they do not run, in a motion offense in which they do not run set plays for a kid that could be one of the most dominant big men in the Big Ten.
No, they do not.
And the Big Ten in a long time. He needs a post play. Mm-hmm. He can play in the post if you give him the ball.
Well, he also needs guards that know how to pass him the ball.
And that's exactly right.
They don't have a lot of post feed. Being able to feed the post is an unappreciated skill.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, to be honest, he's open many times, and they just swing it back around.
Sure.
So I'm more thinking that it's because they don't run plays as a post man, and they need to. The guy's dominant. He's 7'1", 7'2".
He was hitting 15-footers the other night.
Hitting 15-footers, but you put him up next to the basket with a guy that's 5 inches shorter than him, he's going to draw a foul minimum. Second, he's probably going to get a three-point play because the kid shoots free throws like you haven't seen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they need to be running plays for this kid because if you're having a scoring drought, you can have a lead and having a scoring drought. If you have a post presence, more than likely you're going to get some free throw shots, or you're going to get an easy bucket down low, or you're going to have opportunities for your other players on the weak side to get some rebounds. You have to do something to spark an offense, even like Lincoln High School. You know, when you're running into a scoring drought, if you have a post presence, back when I was in high school, we had Jeff Alexander. We go into a scoring drought, the ball went into the post, Jeff made a spin move, it was a score almost every time. What that did was it ignited the offense. All of a sudden, now we're moving again, and Lincoln rolled usually.
Just getting on the board.
That's exactly right. You just got to get something to spark it. So
okay, well, we're going to bring in our guest this week. My boss, Gretchen Bree, Director of Admissions at Lincoln College, will be with us right after this break. Welcome back to the Chief Seats. Justin Tierney in here, subbing for Josh Comnick, coming off the bench today. I'm here with Gretchen Bree, Director of Admission at Lincoln College, and also my boss, which is kind of neat to have her here. Gretchen, we're here at the Lincoln Center. There's a wrestling meet going on in Jack Nutt Arena, so trying to get some people out to see the Lincoln Center today, maybe come to the wrestling match. Can you tell us about the Lincoln Center? Start us off.
Sure. I definitely think this is a fantastic facility that we have, and it has definitely helped us in recruiting efforts for students to be able to come on campus and visit and see a facility like this with the arena and the fitness center upstairs. Our own students obviously enjoy it a lot as well, it's been a big help for us to have this new awesome facility. I'm
telling you, if you haven't seen it yet, it's only 2 years old, about to celebrate its 2-year birthday. Then the one thing I think a lot of people don't know is the fitness center is actually included in our tuition for students. As I recruit local students, I take them up there and I tell them, if you're a student here, you get to use this for free. And so even in the summer, we have commuters that use that. So it's year-round and lots of new equipment and things. So if you're a student who likes to be physically fit and wants a place to work out, no better place here than the Lincoln Center in Logan County.
I agree, and it's also open to the public now, too.
Yeah, it's open to the public. Just talked to our athletics office, I think, is handling the memberships, or maybe the advancement office is handling memberships. So
I think it's a combination between both of them. But yeah, I think there have been people from the public out and using it, so we're starting to see more and more people.
Lincoln College has made some news lately. A couple things that they've done recently in the last couple of years. One, we started the dual enrollment program at Lincoln Community High School. Also, probably of more importance, is they lowered their tuition, which has been a big deal. Lowered their tuition pretty substantially. So why don't we explain kind of what the dual enrollment program offers to students who are enrolled in that at Lincoln High School?
Sure. It's a very exciting program, and it is new this year. It took, obviously, the efforts of a lot of people combined to make it happen. and you being one of them, Justin. And it gives the opportunity to students for them to be able to take some college classes while they're still in high school and kind of get that jump start, get a head start on college. And there are 4 classes being offered, 2 for English and 2 for math. We have a lot of students taking advantage of them, and actually we're kind of reaping the benefits of that as well too, because we're seeing some of those students enroll for our fall semester for full time, which is very exciting because obviously recruiting commuter students is one of our top priorities.
Yeah, anymore, it's hard to get out of college in 4 years. Just the way colleges are set up nowadays, with the requirements becoming more and more strict, and you know, getting a head start as a senior, you're taking the same class you would probably take as a senior, but now it's going to help you more down the road because you've got some college credit to go along with it. So that's been a big program. I think we've got upwards of 50 kids enrolled in it right now at Lincoln High School, and I've been out to the classes a couple times, and I think people are starting to see the benefits as they apply to Lincoln College and other schools. And then we briefly touched on, of course, the reduction in tuition price, which is a big difference maker as well.
Yes, and that's something that we had been looking forward to for a while, and I know the community that looks to send their students or their sons and daughters or whoever here to the college has been looking for that as well. So that's very exciting. We are also pretty heavily endowed with commuter local scholarships, and not just for Lincoln students, but for students from Illini Central, from Mount Pulaski, from Hartsburg. So there's a wealth of opportunity for local students to be able to come to Lincoln College and make it very, very affordable for them. We always say, as you know, not to look at that sticker price, because that's not really what students will pay to go here. And there's a lot of opportunity with the reduction in tuition and with just the other endowed scholarships that are out there for local students to make it very affordable.
Absolutely. Don't count us out here at Lincoln College on price. We will to try to be affordable as we can. That's
and we love the local students. I mean, obviously you were one of them. I was one of them back in the day.
Sure was.
And but there's just a lot of good things about Lincoln College. And I think our local students that are here now, we've got a ton of them here, would agree with that too. You know, from Taylor Perry down to all the other students that are here right now, they're having a good experience, and they love the faculty and what they're getting out of Lincoln College.
You mentioned Taylor, who is a current student right now. Local people have probably seen her in some advertising and things like that. She's an athlete. We're on a sports show, and just before the show, I kind of made a list of some of the local athletes. So we'll see if I run these names and see if this is somebody you know out there, listeners. We've got Louis Schonauer, who of course won 2 national championships on the basketball team. Brandon Farmer, David Pickering, Ashley Yarko, cheerleader. Tiffany Tungate played girls basketball. Kylie Sparks was a women's basketball player. Chelsea Leisman was a women's basketball player. And Nicole Boos from Hartsburg played softball. Colton McClellan from Mount Pulaski played baseball. Chelsea Faith from Mount Pulaski played volleyball. A couple of older names, throwback names of Jeff Nelson and Don Isles, both were athletes here. And then right now we've got Taylor as a cheerleader. Kylie Ash is on our women's golf team. Nick Adcock is on our men's golf team, and Megan Moore is on our women's basketball team. So strong tradition of Logan County athletes becoming Lincoln College athletes, and I know already we've got a couple more lined up for next year. I think a couple cheerleaders maybe, and some other people coming down next year. So definitely a strong tradition.
Very strong tradition. They do well in the classroom too, and that's one thing I want to make sure we point out, is that other than just being athletes here, they're student athletes, and they do very, very well academically here.
Absolutely. I think, I mean, I just think Louis Schonauer is the best example. Came here for 2 years, won 2 national championships, and if he's listening now, he's listening from the beach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Opened some doors for him, and I know of some other local athletes here who saw Lincoln College do that. That's what we're all about, is being a stepping stone to start here, get a good base in your college here, you know, keep your GPA up and get your feet wet in college, and then move on to a 4-year school. You know, even if you're not an athlete, even if you're into fine arts, you get you know, that experience on the stage, or you know, singing, dancing, whatever you're doing, you get that experience and use that at your next school. Which is
and a lot of students do that, and a lot of local students do that too, with fine arts as well.
Well, with that, we're going to end this week's show. We thank Gretchen for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for letting us use the Lincoln Center this week, and we'll be back. I think next week we've got Lincoln Railer basketball coming to you in the morning, and I think they're going to be back the 28th with back with Josh doing the sports show. So Thanks for listening, and go Railers tonight.